Yulantru, and welcome aboard the USS Shadowstar, my flagship. I'm Captain Ri'shad, aka the Renegade, and this is a Starship stats review video where we'll be taking a look at one hell of a magnificent and speedy freighter today. Within our universe, it's referred to as a heavy raider, but the one thing we need to keep in mind is that this ship, well, it's fast, it's a freighter, and it's obviously warp capable, but it's also very unusual in design. So, whether you are Dominion, Romulan, Klingon, or Federation in your allegiance, please get comfortable and allow me to introduce to you the wonderful SIRENA Heavy Raider Tier 6, or by Star Trek canon, that would be the warp-capable Kepler F-17 speed freighter. I believe designed by human shipyards and ship companies, but is not an actual Starfleet design. Available to any users, I guess. If you know how to disable it, you can be like Captain Leos, disable its registration and its tracking, and become a smuggler or pirate with the ship apparently. In-game and in canon, this ship is very, very small, consisting of minimal decks, and well, let's just say, what you see either side of the bridge area, well, you can actually physically see in the front window there, the captain's chair and the helm. That's how small this ship is. And those 2 points either side, those are not hangars. I must stress this, they are not hangars. They're simply points for the cargo containers, the cargo zones. This is a freighter, a speed freighter, but a freighter. We're looking at a very advanced ship though, and in canon, this is a ship that has transporters, holomatrix, emergency hologram, basic installations. It's quite high tech. So, will its stats reflect this? We're looking at Tier 6 Heavy Raider with pilot capabilities. Now, the first thing we need to acknowledge is the fact that yes, it's a Heavy Raider, so tanking and support, they're off the table. It'll be nice if they can do it, but they're not something we need to think about here, looking at the stats. This ship is primarily a DPS, and a little bit crazed DPS. It has a hull strength of 1 and a hull strength of 1 and a shield modifier of 1.05, so we're essentially looking at a 1-1 on the stats, hull and shield wise. To be fair, this is quite fitting with canon, and also doesn't overpower this ship considering its other very much helpful aspects. The ship has, so I'm just struggling to follow this here. A base turn rate of 17, one of the higher turn rates, and definitely rivaling pilot ships here. I believe that is matching the Mercury class pilot escort. An impulse modifier of 0.23, making it one of the fastest ships. An inertia rating of 70, which definitely blankets to its great abilities. Again, as previously stated, she possesses pilot abilities, though I am questioning where these thrusts are all coming from. This ship has got some definite lack of defense, but quite agile maneuverability. She can equip dual cannons, and has a bonus power setting rate of +15 to weapons and +5 to engines. To be fair, kind of what I'd expect out of her. I mean, come on, she's a speed freighter. The fact that she's quite tactically sound, that bit questions me because she's a freighter, but I guess they couldn't make her a science ship, it'd be a bit weird. Continuing on, we get to her console stats, and this is one of her impressive zones with 5 tactical, 2 engineering, but 4 science, landing her very capable of any form of scientific or tactical DPS. In fact, she can hybridize and combine the two together if you wanted. I don't necessarily cling to saying that's a great idea, as you will very much be a flying glass cannon. But hey, raiders are glass cannons anyway, and if you know how to use a raider effectively, you're not going to give 2 damns. She has her experimental weapon slot coming with a unique weapon, so we'll look at that shortly. And this is the bit where she really gets good in my opinion. Her bridge officer stations are 1 Commander Tactical Pilot, 1 Lieutenant Universal, 1 Lieutenant Commander Universal Intel, 1 Commander Universal. This literally gives the ship the ability to flex. Sure, her raw lack of defense and lack of engineering console modifications means that she will never ever be an effective tank. Yes, the elite tankists, the elite tank players can turn this ship into a hybrid hull and shield tank if they want to. Lord knows with the 4 size positions, you can definitely give her shield tank capabilities if you know what you're doing. However, she actually now recovers support capability somewhat, to a degree, especially thanks to her science consoles, and she is immensely powerful in the DPS category. Her only lacking there is, well, this final point, her weapons. Though I have mentioned she has 1 experimental aft weapon, of course it's 1 experimental, she has only 1 aft weapon, but she does have 5 forward weapons. This grants her 6 weapons in total, kind of fitting to the science thing, and thanks to her experimental weapon slot, that actually brings her up to 7. Effective, powerful, and does land her quite well there alongside other DPS ships, such as the pilot cruisers, the pilot escorts, not pilot cruisers, what am I saying? The pilot escorts and some of the less balanced battle cruisers, the ones with 5.2. Her only issue is, against the 5.2 battle cruisers, she lacks armor. And against other escorts, well, they have more firepower. Does her support ability balance her out or give her a step up? That's something really hard to determine, if I'm fair. I will say that she can gun there with the rest of the escorts, especially raiders. I would plausibly say she's among the best raiders, stats wise. Pulling her up against an escort, there's the opportunity for her to gun down an escort. Certainly with her support side and her scientific prowess, she can liberate escorts of their advantage. However, if she comes up against something like the science pilot escort, that's null and void. That escort will beat this ship, stats wise, so it's fair game there. And it's why this ship is so awkward for me to review. Now she comes with a standard weapon alignment, and you can see she chooses phaser. Her console is a very interesting console. The fundamental field replicator that can only be used while in combat, plus 42 to Starship engineering readiness. Now this is quite effective. Plus 42 to Starship scientific readiness, and Hang on, what? Plus 42 to Starship tactical readiness. I'm done. I'm done. I don't need to see anything else from that console. I can already just, right now, that console is a 9 out of 9. This is one of the best consoles you can get to keep your abilities going. With plus 42 to all bridge officer types, TAC, science and engineering, obviously ignoring specialization bridge officer types. This is so damn effective. Yes, specialization bridge officer abilities tend to have an advantage. Fair game. However, there are many players like myself who prioritize your typical science, TAC and engineering abilities. I mean, I definitely prefer them, to be fair. And this is just on its own, meaning I probably will, thanks to this ability, I can guarantee my torpedo spread and beam fire at will never ever be on cooldown. Literally, upon finishing a firing cycle of beam overload and high yield, maybe, let's go with that one, I will then be able to proc the ability off again and fire it again. It's like I will never physically stop firing at maximum output. And that's just the tactical side of things. This ship has got scientific capability, especially with its bridge, its universal slots. So you may never ever drop the control of the enemy. You can keep enemies in continuous gravitational wells, and there are, thanks, if you got the right traits in place, you can have an enemy stuck in gravitational wells and Typhon rifts, doing the level of damage, and then the additional damage, if you've got the right trait, to bonus off of the effects of what both those abilities are. And as they've timed out, you set it up again, you're keeping these enemies in one single spot. Then you have your allies now able to not worry about where the enemies are flying to, because they're just going to be in one spot. Do we see how overpowered this is? This is a console which is great for team play, great for solo play. And better yet, it's not locked to heavy raiders. It can be used on any ship type. This is a console which, just for this reason alone, is worth getting. Then you have its ability, Photonic Ambush. Science officers, you already have this ability in your photonic fleet, albeit yours is more powerful. However, this creates 9 photonic allies for 30 seconds. Each has phaser beam overload, fire at will, scatter volley, and lock trajectory. This is again a DPS and controllability sort of console. Reduces bridge officer ability recharge time by 1% each for 30 seconds. So not only are you already readied up better thanks to the passive ability, but the active ability will make it even more likely you've got your bridge officer abilities going off. Does anyone... No, this console's just gone from a 9 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. This console is the first console I'm giving 10 out of 10 to. It's great for engineers, it's great for science, it's great for tactical, it's great for tanks, it's great for support, it's great for DPS. No matter what build you're going for, this console has its use. It may not be the best console for you, but it is a console that no matter the build you're going for, it can be useful. Damn! Talk about hitting hard there with one console. Maintained to regulations. About right, Captain Rios, about right. The Captain ability cleanses 1 debuff and 1 buff bridge officer ability recharge time. Oh, and buffs bridge officer abilities recharge time. So hang on, it will remove 1 debuff to your ship when it activates, and you get 10% recharge time reduction on your bridge officer abilities. Seriously, is this ship all about just getting your abilities off? Let's just keep rocking, guys. Let's never end. Why not? Apparently that's this ship's thing to do. Well, I'm all for it. That trait is minimalistic, and there is definitely better traits. Especially since you... Let's be fair. Why use the trait if you're going to use the console that has more uses to it? You'd only use this trait if you don't have a spare slot for the console, and even then you'd probably pick a trait that specializes towards you. There are plenty of traits that will boost your captain ability recharge time. Boost your attack, boost your psi, boost your eng. This trait, unfortunately, is the exact opposite of the console. It's great in concept, but it falls by the wayside. It's too easy to already have a bridge officer ability that will deal with your debuffs, and the recharge time you can gain from the console. Slash, maybe other consoles. You don't even need to be using that console. Other consoles can give you the recharge time you might want, or another trait could. A superior trait could. So unfortunately that trait is a 2 out of 10 for me. Like I said, the exact opposite of the console. So let's see how this squares out. Coordinated hull piercer. That's right. That's this ship's weapon. Now I would love to show you this in action, but until I've actually flown the ship in combat, I can't guarantee I'll actually keep the ship. I'm joking, by the way. That console alone is going to make me keep the ship. Coordinated hull piercer. 126.5 kinetic damage per half second with a 50% shield penetration for 4 seconds. That's quite effective, I will say. We're looking at a total outgoing damage of... what the hell? Don't think I've ever had that issue before. Yes, I'm cheating with my maths. I'm using a calculator. Bite me. Was it for 4 seconds? Oh, it fires 8 times, so technically, yeah. So it's going to deal, at its base, 1012 kinetic damage. This is without kinetic damage boosting. And dealing that through shields. So if we now divide that by 2 to get its shield penetrated damage, it deals 506. So it's going to guarantee 506 damage through shields, and 506 damage is going to be done to the shields on each hit from self or an ally. With a 12% chance of one random subsystem offline. So a 12% chance of having the phaser damage effect. After 2 seconds, causes one ally within 10 kilometers to also attack the target. I've gone out of range. Whoops. God, I love the underside of this ship. After 2 seconds, causes one ally within 10 kilometers to also attack the target with the same amount of damage for 2 seconds. So basically, for the last 2 seconds, so long as you've got an ally within 10 kilometers of you, they're going to attack the same target as you, doing the same damage. It's pretty interesting. It's an interesting experimental weapon because it's not overly powerful, but if when coordinated with an ally, gives you the opportunity to give them, say, a secondary experimental output. I don't know if it classifies as your damage when it comes from them, or if it classifies as damage they deal, but Hey, maybe it's a way to help your allies do extra DPS if they're trying to get a better DPS score. Overall, it's an interesting one, so I will at least give this a... No, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. It's good, within reason. Bearing in mind it's not currently being boosted. I have to do it, aren't I? Damn it! Damn it, why did you have to be such a good console? Okay, hands up. I've gone back over to my main game. This is actually the main server now. It's not the triple test server anymore. This main server, literally, the console alone, just the console alone has made me pick this ship. And I've decided I'm going to OTT, ship laid out, that's done on purpose. This is a joke build. I'm actually taking a mick here. I've gone over the top, tactically speaking. Completely over the top. How much tactical bridge officer ability can I equip? And how much can I do additional damage with from engineering and science? My science abilities both going to deal exotic electrical damage. Thanks to trait, my engineering ability is just going to spike me up. Let's actually see just how much damage this can do. But before we go in there, since I have gone over to my main account, I did upgrade Coordinated Hull Piercer to Mark 15 Epic. And so that you guys can see and now know, if you do choose to get this ship and you do upgrade it, this console will land itself at its peak at, well, not exactly its peak, but at its near peak, 255.8 kinetic damage, dealing twice per second for 4 seconds, with a 50% shield penetration. This experimental weapon can be re-engineered to deal greater damage or deal more critical damage, better accuracy. It's up to you if you want to re-engineer it, but right now this is the base stats. That's pretty good. Let's take the Akara in. So here we are in battle, and like I just said, we're going to do this with a joke build. This is literally, there's no two ways about it. Hell, I'm not even going to boost the other additional areas. We're just literally going to joke this out. Bring ourselves in nice and close. Get all abilities proccing as much as I can do. As we come into range, 1, 2, 3, 4. Seriously? Oh, come on, guys. Look! I can already use all my abilities apart from the captain abilities. Again, already minus 1 engineering, and it's the only one I'm not boosting recharge time on is my engineering. Let's see what this ship can do if I go into action just normally against the Galor class. And while we're at it, let's unleash that. Here they come! Remodulate the shields. Pistol and Agility shield would be great right now. I'm not even struggling! This is supposed... Oh, come off it! Come on, that was ridiculous. I was 100% whole still. I have on purpose gone for a build which overkills anything tactical. I am literally a flying glass cannon. There is no decent defense to me. -1 console. Oops, not what I meant to do. What? What's a Keldon class? That's a flopping Keldon. Flopping. Yeah, guys, I just said that. I just said flopping. That was a flopping Keldon class, and I just flopped it out of here. Like, flick, you're gone. Bye-bye. Okay. Guys, better fight, please. Pull up a little bit of a better fight. I'm not going to even give you a chance to pull up a better fight. I'm going to be mean as crap.
Warning, ship is under attack.
This is the Titan Raider. I'm saying it right now. This is the Titan Raider. In my personal opinion, this is the best Raider you can fly. Just fuck it. I'm done. Here's to La Selena, sorry. Fuck. Wow. Wow. Holy bite me. Whew. I am not the best DPS player, but fucking miles away from it. You got your DPS Titans, you got your DPS Elite players, the DPS Elites. You then got your DPS Specialists, the people that specialize in DPS builds. You then got your DPS players. And I somewhere sit just underneath those people. I am a support player. This is my preferred role. I get a little bit into DPS only because my style support is support DPS. Wow. Holy guns. If someone like me can get that kind of output from this ship, I don't want to know what an elite DPS player can do. I'm not a fan of DPS Elites in the slightest, because I hate how it gets shoved down your throat. You gotta go for the DPS or you're useless. Yeah, shut up. But this is one time I'd actually want to see what they can achieve, because hands up to them, they could get some pretty damn good scores. And I would love to know what they can do with this ship. In fact, shout out to the Augment Dictator right now. If you're able to get your hands on this ship, Oggy, I look forward to your builds big time. In fact, I'm going to link the Augment Dictator below. He's going to be practically at the top in the links, guys. I want you to go check him out, because if he has got his hands on this ship, guarantee you it's going to be an awesome build. I would love to see if he can, what kind of torpedo boat he comes out with this ship, because he's absolutely amazing at torpedo builds. Holy moly, this ship is good. Right, focus, Richard. Scores. Okay, overall, tank score. Yeah, I said tank is irrelevant, but let's give it a tank score. She did actually okay. She took leveled shield damage, but because of her outgoing damage, she didn't take much damage. So I can't really tell how much damage she can take overall. But that's an effective point about her. She can deal that much outgoing damage. And that potentially, she stands to be relatively handy as a support tank. Now, a support tank is just someone who assists tanks out, helping gather some of the threat in a general direction, so the tank doesn't have to take all the damage. A support tank will also heal the tank. But overall, at least we know she can take a fair amount of damage for the amount of damage that she's dishing out. If she gets swarmed, she could probably get overwhelmed. But in a one-on-one fight, she's going to do pretty well. I'll give her tank scoring a 6 out of 10 as a result. But this is an independent fighting. In team or full-on tank role, unfortunately she would be a 3 out of 10. I highly doubt she can take swarms. Support roles. Okay. Now support roles comes under many classes, but let's just fill them together again because support's really not her specialty. I'm going to have to give her, because of her potential within the role, I will have to give her 7 out of 10. She has support potential. She's definitely a support DPS ship. That's easily said. She's got great control potential, great drain potential, and she's more than versatile enough in that field. But DPS, well, side DPS, I will give it to her easily 8.5 out of 10. That should say something to you. If I'm giving her 8.5 out of 10 as a side DPS, what am I going to give her as a tactical? As a tactical DPS, and bear in mind I've just said that she, in my opinion, she's the Titan of Raiders at present. I feel safe saying I feel safe saying and giving her a 10 out of 10. I will very happily grant her 10 out of 10. Because she can side DPS, she can tactical DPS, she's got the potential to hybridize and use both together. Thanks to her raw maneuverability and her ability to get out of a bad situation quick. The punch that she can deal, if built properly, is very high. The only DPS ships that would possibly stand above her, in my personal opinion, are essentially the kings of battle cruisers, the kings of juggernauts, the ships that have that extra ability just to one outstep this ship. Miracle Worker Battle Cruiser Shepherd class, for example. Perhaps that ship is a little bit superior DPS wise if done right, but then again, that ship lacks the versatility of this ship. The Arbiter, again, that ship lacks all the science capability, so this ship smashes the Arbiter in my opinion. Yeah, the Arbiter will last longer. Not going to last longer if the ship is dealing way more power. Yeah, I am really impressed. I was not expecting this ship to be one of the really good ones. I was expecting a good pilot ship. I was actually expecting it to be a pilot escort. And for them to call her a light pilot escort. I was expecting her to be a 4-3 with experimental. Or a 4-2 with experimental. I wasn't expecting this loadout that she's got. I'm now disappointed at myself that I didn't put more cannons on her, because I bet we could get even more damage output from that. God, what is she capable with just cannons? Oh my word. we're looking at an amazing ship, guys, and I really do look forward to hearing what you guys think of her. I'm going to shut up now because I'm rambling. I'm just in astonishment, to be fair. If you guys like this ship, please, please tell me what you like about her. If you guys don't like her, seriously now, tell me what you don't like about her, because even constructive criticism is useful. But seriously, I'm looking forward to the comment section this time. I'm really looking forward to the comment section this time. Thank you guys for watching, and seriously, a huge support. Thank you for the support you've shown me by... I've lost my words! A huge thank you for the support you've shown me by watching to the very end of this video. And to my very generous donators and patrons, to you guys as well, and even further massive thank you. I am really looking forward to flying this ship. I'm going to look forward to the cinematic video I've got to record. I'm going to look forward to the visual review video coming up. Damn, she's good shit. Guys, thank you, and until next time, ciao for now. Remember, live long and prosper. And, of course, engage. Damn it, I broke it!